Arcane by Neospector. Chapter 2. Yuki looked up at the stone architecture of the Temple of Time, and his thoughts went back to a few days ago.
You intend to find out?
Claudine questioned. Yes, Nienheart stated bluntly. Okay, Nine, Hawkeye stated at Nienheart as if the strategist had just announced he was going to jump off the side of the island. Here's my follow-up question. How, exactly? I intend to send a search party, the strategist clarified. It didn't answer much, but Hawkeye seemed more than satisfied with the answer. Oh-ho, the pirate grinned. So, who's going? That, Nienheart said, is something I have been deciding since I formulated this plan. After certain events involving Sir Kaiser and his girlfriend, he emphasized the word, but not out of disgust or disapproval, more just from the effort of saying it. The concept of working together has been at the forefront of my mind.
Let me guess.
Claudine almost groaned, but held it in.
You want to send a team of resistance and a team of knights together to learn cooperation, right?
Wrong, actually, Nienheart said. I have a group of 6 in mind that should be able to complete this task with minimal difficulty. I have sent word to 5 of them already, and they have all agreed. Wait, who's the last one then? Hawkeye questioned. The person who was there the last time the door opened, Nienheart said. Yuki shifted uncomfortably. Yuki, I would like to request that you be the leader of this expedition. Yuki's grumbling echoed off the temple walls. It's not like he could turn something like that down. Besides, he did this stuff all the time. No worse than those errands he had to run at the bottom of Ludibrum's clock tower. That place gave him the creeps. Still, there was the matter of a giant, swirling pool in the middle of the very open gate to the present. Yuki saw it immediately when he walked in. Sure to Nienheart's word, the portal spewed a bluish-gray sand that seemed to vanish as soon as it got more than a foot from the vortex. Definitely not what he saw the last time it opened. Not at all. But right now, he was to meet his team of fellow explorers in the Memory Keeper's room. Nienheart had reasoned that if anyone were to know something about what happened, it would be him, and so that was where they'd start their search. Just past the gate to the past, near the resting spot of memory, standing on a ledge was the bearded man who would tell them what they needed. Yuki took a deep breath and entered the room.
Well, finally.
Yuki turned to the voice. It seemed as if he was the last one to arrive, not a good first impression of a leader. Yet, he was still earlier than the appointed time, so if someone faulted him for that, they could ship themselves off to Mulong and sit on a porky for all he cared. Yuki surveyed his new team. The voice he heard was Aran, the warrior of rain. He got along with her as much as anyone else, and they talked briefly after she scolded, or rather beat him for his role in the little ghost incident at the hot springs. Totally not his fault, by the way. Next to Aran was Xenon, the cyborg. Admittedly, Yuki was a bit weirded out by the mechanical and computerized parts at first, but mostly he simply felt pity for what the young man had gone through as a child. It actually made Yuki feel a little bit better about the whole Gelimer getting blown up by his own creations thing on the Black Heaven. Okay, a lot better, really. Then there was Hayato. Yuki hadn't really talked to the samurai outside of a small greeting every now and then. Not that there was much to discuss between the two. They didn't exactly hate each other, but they didn't get along as friends either. Sitting on a small planter was a girl Yuki had maybe seen once or twice standing with the Resistance at the Alliance meetings. She had long, black hair with a small accessory shaped like a feather attached to a pressure gauge, typical Edelstein style, and was dressed in a black and white outfit with a half-skirt trailing off the end. On her arms were 2 incredibly threatening-looking mechanical gauntlets. The one on her right arm had a glowing point attached to the top. Yuki made mental note to try and not make her angry right away. And finally, there was a plain-looking girl with orange hair with a pair of small black horns nestled within, and a pair of purple wings sticking out of her back. Tyr, the alter ego to the angelic Buster. A girl he had, kind of, sort of, not really, tricked into announcing her love for her childhood friend. Good times. Nienheart had definitely put together a team from varying backgrounds, that was for sure. None of them were particularly close, but none of them had hated each other either. Get in, get the mission done, get out, with as little infighting or drama as possible. Efficiency at its finest. The warrior gave a small wave and was met with varying degrees of responses from the group.
Yuki-san.
Surprisingly, Hayato was the first to approach. The samurai bowed.
It would be a pleasure to work with you.
Likewise, Yuki returned the bow.
I haven't seen you since Chase got all crazy about love.
Tyr chimed in. Yuki shrugged. Been busy as always. How's Kyle? Tyr huffed.
I wanted to go with him on this mission, but Nienheart started lecturing me about a relationship on the battlefield being disruptive to the mission.
The girl Yuki didn't know snorted at the sound of the blue-haired strategist's name, but offered no other response.
Hey, you kid. Not fooling around with any more ghosts, right?
The legendary polearm hero raised her fist. Yuki held up his hands innocently, then proceeded to form his own fist and bump hers.
Yuki?
Xenon stared at the warrior. Yuki stared back, chuckling awkwardly a bit. The cyborg cracked a small smile.
I hope we can all get along.
Yuki nodded in agreement before walking over to the unknown girl. He coughed slightly to indicate that she should introduce herself. The girl took a slightly condescending look at Yuki, then sighed and cracked a small, but very sincere, smile.
Liuva,
She said.
I'd shake, but
She held up the mechanical gauntlet, which whirred as the fingers moved.
I'm a blaster. Pretty new to the ranks of the resistance, but ready to kick some serious Blackwing butt.
Liuva lightly and playfully punched Yuki on the shoulder, which nearly knocked Yuki over as a result.
Come on, let's go see what Beardy has to say about that big door.
Yuki immediately decided to spite Nienheart by making friends with all of them.